What is the confidence in JJ? I know JJ's a great basketball mind, but a guy that's never coached on any level. Why is there so much confidence in him that he could do that? It's very different understanding that is that what it is? Is that
He
what
has
it
the
is?
complexion for expectation. Would you agree? I mean, that's part of it. Would you not agree that's part of it?
I mean,
That
why is no like we
Steve
talking
Kerr,
about
Steve Kerr is expert like that. I think that Steve Kerr is the model that it's
okay,
like here's someone who
okay,
knows the sport, who you trust is good at managing personalities. And I think that's basically the case. And whether you agree or disagree with it, I think that
yeah,
that's the case that they're sort of making for JJ Redick.
okay, okay. I mean, Steve played at the highest level too, though. Like he won what 5 chips. JJ doesn't have that experience under fire, and so I think that means a lot too. Where like we've seen Steve Kerr stand on all 10 in big moments, hitting enormous shots, dragging nuts. At, you know
Right.
what I'm saying, in his position.
And learning from Phil Jackson and Popovich too,
And
right?
Popovich,
Yeah.
yes, you feel me? So that I think JJ's brilliant, a brilliant basketball mind, but I don't think that's necessarily equivalent. You know what I'm saying when it comes to comparing the two and what they can bring to the table. That's how I feel.
But yeah, and I agree with you. I feel the exact same way, but it might not be about what we feel. It might be about what 23
LeBron
feels,
feel. You feel
right?
me? Yes,
like
sir.
like because earlier this week when Jackson dropped, someone dropped the clip. I think it was Jackson dropped that Rashad McCants clip about how he was like, yo, JJ is going to try to be a head coach in this league. And I was like, bro, I got my tinfoil hat on here too. I was like, because he was on a media blitz like
Yeah.
the last week or so. And I was like, what is this for? And then you start connecting the dots. You're like, LeBron hopped out here with this dude mid-season and did a podcast. Right?
No,
LeBron,
Tyler, it was because of he's so concerned with the state of basketball
right?
education in the
Yeah.
media.
Look. Bron is a calculated dude who sees the bigger picture of shit, right? Bron is just not going to hop out here and do a podcast just to do a podcast. It's starting to click now that podcast with him and JJ, that is an audition reel. That is showing people how they are on the same page, how they are both basketball computer minds, how they would be incredible together with the X's and O's. And I don't know how high Bron is on Ty Lue. I would think he would want Ty Lue as the first pick, but like it's his first pick here. But like we said, we don't know if that's feasible. But JJ, there's nothing holding JJ back if the Lakers want JJ and if JJ wants to go there, and if Bron is co-signing him too. So I don't know, just something to keep your eyes on, bro. Like JJ might be Bron's guy here, man.
I think there's a chance that Bron could there's a coexistence type thing. Where yes, you're the coach, but he'd probably have a little more say so with JJ. You feel me? Because JJ doesn't have the experience and they have that relationship and bond off the court already. So I see how that could appeal to Bron in that way. He's like, I'll take care of the guys. You know what I'm saying? You just do your thing. You know what I'm saying? While I'm on the court, or in the locker room with the guys or whatever. So
I think
I don't know. We'll see.
I think the question around that, and listen, obviously, hey, listen, how do I feel about Darvin Ham leaving? Y'all know I don't drink. They sent us this after the Lakers won the championship in 2020, and I've been saving it for a special occasion. No, I'm not gonna. But
okay,
your Mike's not gonna drink.
Yeah, I was
5-year-old
beer,
Michelob
bro.
Ultra.
Yeah.
I was
Is
gonna
it?
show. It's not working.
You're gonna open that motherfucker up and a loaf of bread is gonna come out. Dog.
Right. And that's your first drink. And let us set something up for you at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I do want to acknowledge that Darvin Ham I think he's a good dude. I think he could turn into a great coach. I think the problem for him is he was the coach of the Lakers. And you could sense his frustration with that role of why does everyone care so fucking much? Why can't I lose to the fucking Grizzlies on a Tuesday without the world crashing down?
Coach anywhere though.
That's fair, but I think it's like he could grow into a better coach if he's coaching the Hornets or something, right? Like you got thrown onto center stage, with the whole world watching to learn how to ride a bike, like it's understandable that it went the way it went. That's my concern about JJ Redick. Like it's just my concern, like, because managing, like what you just described might sound good in theory, but how does Anthony Davis respond to JJ Redick and Bron having a separate relationship? How does, it's a tricky situation in the locker room. And I think what Tyler and what we've talked about with Ty Lue is he held Bron accountable in a way that
drag his nuts with everybody, bro.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I'm
I
saying?
think that that's
Equally.
important. I don't know that I like, JJ Redick is 6 months older than Bron. Like they are contemporaries. Like they are friends with a media venture who probably would greatly enjoy sitting in the Lakers coach's room drinking wine together after games. I don't know that that's the right dynamic. If that's the dynamic Bron wants, to me, Bron has the keys to the car. And as that article pointed out, the Lakers take care of their stars, bro. They took care of Kobe. They are not going to have Bron going and becoming a Sixer because they hired fucking Mike Budenholzer against his wishes. I don't see a world where that happens. But that does not mean that it's the right choice. And I'm trying to be a little smarter about that, as we weren't with some of the roster moves that the Lakers have made, that Bron pushed for. Right. So that's where my hesitancy is, but I'm happy that we're in this situation. Cause man, I was genuinely depressed when they're like, no, we're going to run it back with Darvin Ham. So why?
I just refuse to believe it because I felt like everybody, I felt like guys that know basketball 10 times better than me couldn't see what I was seeing and come to a different conclusion. I think part of my reaction was that doesn't make any sense in any part of the multiverse. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody who, understands anything about basketball would ever come to the conclusion that he should get another year. Based upon what we saw, it doesn't make any sense. So I think that's what my confusion was. But the thing with JJ, I wonder what happens when they disagree. We know what happens when Ty Lue and they disagree. Right. You know what I mean? Ty Lue will at least have the comfort to say, I disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? And we need to do this. You feel me? What happens when there's disagreements amongst JJ and Bron or AD or whatever? How does he handle that stuff? And that's why I say being a great basketball mind is important in the job, right? But having some experience with how to, operate in that position is equally important in this situation as a Laker. Do you want your first head coach job to be with Bron on the Lakers? After
if
what
I
we
was
just saw
JJ,
with Darvin Ham and Westbrook, and there's
would you want it if you were JJ?
I mean, JJ Redick. I think NBA players are. We talked about you have to have a particular area to be a nigga sitting on a bench in NBA. You have to have thought you were a god in basketball. At one point in your life, you thought you were the best player ever on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So you have a particular mindset. You know what I mean? So he played in NBA, and JJ was a dog where he was from. At Duke, he was a dog too. Everybody fucking hated him, and he still stood tall, was not uncomfortable with that shit. So I think he does believe that he has what it takes in order to be the head coach of the Lakers. Yeah. But I mean, once you get into that hot seat, we've seen it should be hotter than you think, brother. You feel me?
I think we have to kind of examine what Bron's perception of a good coach would be. And I'm gonna use AD as a contrast here. Like, AD has basically said in so many words, bro, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing out there. Right. Like, he has said that, he needs a coach to provide guidance. I don't think Bron is on that same angle where he's looking for guidance from a coach. I think Bron views a good coach having good basketball acumen as someone who's on the same page with him. Bron knows how fucking smart he is with this basketball shit. Right. And he needs someone who's going to be in accord with him, who's going to walk, hooked arm with him on this shit. And JJ's that, like, bro, they're doing a podcast to show their synergy together, And like I said, I think JJ's probably his guy if they can't get Ty Lue, man. And like I said, I don't want the new guy either. I want the proven guy. I want Ty Lue. I wanted Ty Lue there from his very first, from when he touched down in LA. But I mean, there's also part of me that's like in Bron's last few years. If he wants JJ and we can't get Ty Lue, like, why put a coach there who's just going to frustrate the shit out of him and probably have limited success as well? So I don't know, man. It's a sticky fucking situation, bro.
Did you see the clip they put out most recently of the two of them talking about drawing up a play to win a game? Like, you're down by one at the end of the game.
That is a campaign video, dog. That is a campaign video. Fucking James Redick, 2024, dog.
They said simultaneously, turn your head, turn his head. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like 1, 2, 3, turn his back. You know what I mean? Like they counted this shit down, bro.
And it was, what's funny is if you look at it as a campaign video, it did a lot of things you're supposed to do. It was convincing. They associated themselves with correct brands. They said, look at Steve Kerr and the Warriors. Look at the Celtics doing this. The name of the play is victory, right? Like, it's like you're really putting a lot of effort into that as a campaign video.
Yeah.
But also you're addressing your constituency's exact frustration. Where was this in a 1-point game for the Lakers? Why did it always feel like Michael Malone was the guy that you would want to be coach of? What, like, the Lakers have always had that guy. The Lakers had Pat Riley. The Lakers had Phil Jackson. Why are Lakers fans feeling like, I wish we had their guy? Like, that's not something Lakers fans know how to do. You know what I mean? And so I thought, I totally agree with you. I had the exact same thought. What super PAC funded this shit? That was like, look at how it could be drawing up plays at the end of the game versus, the clip of Darvin Ham writing initials of players on the clipboard, that we talked about.
And that's the thing. Like, I understand why Lakers fans are hesitant to have JJ Redick as a coach. He would be a first-time NBA coach, but that's the upside. If you're trying to like spin it optimistically, it's like he was in the league recently, so he feel like he can connect with players still, and he has this whiteboard ability that not only did Darvin Ham not have, but like not every NBA coach has. Period. Like, not everyone is that super skilled at that. So like, while Steve Kerr is obviously like the absolute peak version of this like player turned coach who's never coached before, if you can get 75% of that, it's not. I mean, that's an optimistic look at it, but I can understand why some Lakers fans would want
y'all, based on what you're saying, it seems like y'all think he wants JJ even over Ty. First, we're saying Ty.
Well, what do you think, Tyler? I've seen JJ Redick's name in too many things to not feel that that's something that's being put out there intentionally.
Yeah. I think JJ is his guy, whether it's because he knows there's no way for them to get Lou, or even if there was a way for him to get Lou, right? Like, that's the only question I have there. I really do think JJ's his guy.
Why would they put it out there publicly if there's no way to get Ty Lue? What is the reasoning behind that, you think?
I mean, maybe to say, hey, we fucking tried. Ballmer doesn't want to play with us. Maybe there's that.
Yeah, you got to get caught trying a little bit, I think, sometimes, especially because we see how important the expectations game is for the Lakers. And look, Bron is about legacy building. He does not want to go out of LA the way that this season ended. Oh, no. I had Lakers fans all over the old head community in Long Beach. People all over Facebook. If they build this motherfucker a statue, I'm done. That's not how he wants to leave. That's not how he wants to leave the Lakers. He wanted to come move his family to LA. Well, they already lived in LA. He wanted to move his business interests to LA as well, right? Of playing basketball, be successful with a top level team brand, and be the guy on the East Coast hub in Miami. I got the middle of the country in Cleveland, and I got the West Coast at LA. And I could walk into any, like that's for sure part of the way that he's thought about this. So I think they had to manage expectations. You don't want Lakers fans going, fuck, we should have got Ty Lue again. If JJ Redick messes up, we're pissed off at him. And Bron brought in another one of his friends that didn't work out. So I think they're thinking about the expectations and managing that with Ty Lue. But I also think there's some, we talked in the group chat, right? Like Doc Rivers was acquired via trade or whatever. Like, it does happen. But if you look at the Lakers has the coaching been a huge issue? Yes. But if you look at the Lakers, the issue is like depth and role players. So you're giving up draft picks to spend on the coach. I think that's kind of a tough, like you see in the report from Woj, they're signaling that they're willing to spend the draft capital to bring in people to win now. And I think they have to signal that to Bron, but I also do think that they're serious about it. So if you're giving up some of that capital to get the coach, it's going to limit who you can bring in around them. And they're not like one piece away right now. So I think it might be smarter to take a bigger chance on the coach, but get more of a sure thing with the players, especially if the coach is going to let Bron help out with the player. I don't know. I think that the math makes sense to some extent.
We've all had a difficult time buying tickets. Lakers games are expensive, but I try and find games to take my son Vinny to. It's hard to find good deals, especially at the last minute.
You shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you.
The Lakers have a ton of home games the remainder of the year. I like that in the Game Time app, they have last-minute tickets. You can see views from every seat.
Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. Their all-in pricing shows your total up front, so you know you're getting a great deal before you buy. They also have the Game Time guarantee, which means you'll always get the best price.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time.
Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code J&J for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code JANDJ for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
The 82-game preseason is in the books, and it's finally time for the real season. Don't miss out on any of the NBA playoff action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
From the play-in tournament through the finals, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. I still feel like the Nuggets are the team to beat this year, but some of these young squads might make some noise.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Jenkins. New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code Jenkins only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.